Hello, everybody. This is Lewis with About That RV Live, and thanks so much for joining the live. Today, we're going to walk through some of the most common questions and concerns that we get from RV renters that are actually looking to start their RV rental business. So, I've got a list of things I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to kind of jump back and forth through doing the live and then also going online and kind of walking you guys through some of the websites and platforms that we use to go out there and market our RV rental business. So a couple of things though, if you can check us out on our social media sites. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter. Let me go to here. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all these. And then also, if you haven't had a chance yet, in the link we've got some merch. So it's some fun merch here. Take a look at the About That RV Life. There's hoodies, there's mugs, there's all sorts of different types of things that you guys can use. And as my wife says, it's pretty funny. Go buy a shirt with their face on it. So anyway, let's get right into, I want to walk through the Outdoorsy website here. So let me click on over. And we use multiple platforms. So we use Outdoorsy. Outdoorsy is one of the major ones it's become the major ones that we use now. RVshare was one of the bigger ones that we've used. Their fees just seem to be a little bit higher than I think most of the platforms that are out there, but they're great for leads, and I'll walk you through some of that stuff today. But one of the things I really love about Outdoorsy is the ability to the ability to kind of edit your listings real fast and easy. I like the bigger pictures here. Let's see here. One of the things here, we'll look at this listing real quick, because one of the things that we get all the time is what should I do? How should I list? What kind of units? And I'll go into that today, but I'm just going to walk through kind of some of the pictures and things like that. You want to take really nice pictures, use your cinematic or your portrait mode in your photos. If you guys have like different phones other than iPhones, I'm sure they've all got different types of settings that are 4K and high quality. You want to take some good pics, kind of of the whole unit inside and out. Give the renters kind of an idea of what they're going to be looking for. And what they're going to be utilizing. Most of them want to just know how many they sleep, where the bed's at, right? What do the beds look like? And are they comfortable? What's the mattresses look like? Some of these extra features like TVs and stuff like that are great. Renters like them, but they're not the super most important things. Taking a look at the fridge here. You've got your pantry set up here, stuff like that. So, Outdoorsy has been great, but when you're getting your units set up on profiles, you just want to make sure that they're really nice and they look good. So let's flip on over to RVshare. This is another platform. So if you're getting started, RVshare was our first platform that we got started on. And quite honestly, once we got our units on there, gosh, they were getting booked out like crazy. There's a cool thing here that I really like. It's super user friendly when you're able to go on there and actually edit your listings, look at some of the updated rates and stuff like that. Like you can really I'll just show you real quick how fast it is. You can just change this real fast, get that and save it. You can do weekly discounts. You can do monthly discounts, which is kind of cool. You can set your minimum rental and maximum rental. I've got some off season and then during some peak season rates, right? And you could space those out, get your tax rate in there, and then your deposits and stuff like that. So RVshare is just a great platform. So whatever ones you guys like using, those are two of the top ones. And then one of the things that you want to do, if you're starting to kind of get into a mode where you want to grow and you want to go from 1 to 5 or even more, I think having a website is super important. If you're gonna, there's two different types of mindsets here, right? If you're gonna just kind of have, if you're just gonna kind of have a kind of like a hobby level type mindset, one, and using the platforms might just be okay, and then market them through like Facebook and different types of free platforms. Those are great. For us, we wanted to really look at how can we really scale this business and get to a point to where like we're we're treating it like a business, right? We have an LLC, we've got our own separate bank account, you know, we're doing all the things that we need to do. We're investing our money in new rigs and you know, all sorts of new types of equipment, generators, like things like that. If you're getting serious about it, I would encourage you guys utilizing, you know, your own website. And as you can see here, it's something simple, very basic. We did buy this from GoDaddy. It cost us about $350 to $400 per year. And you want to have something that kind of introduces yourself, who you are. This is an old video, the very first video we made. We fumbled through it, but it just gives you an idea of where we started from, right? Which is kind of cool. We've got all of our social medias here. And then we have, you know, kind of who we are, right? A family of 5 in rural Washington. We stay busy. And you know, you just kind of want to tell your story. I think stories are really important when you're building your RV rental business. You know, for us, like, our story's kind of crazy. You know, we went through a kind of a pretty tough period when my father-in-law passed away, and it just really made us think about you know, where we were in life and the more that we wanted to experience and stuff like that. And my wife was like, you know, let's experience more, let's do more things. And one of the things that we kind of picked up this motto was invest in experiences. And where we wanted our money go was where the experiences were for our family, right? So one of the things was, you know, buying an RV and a camper. Our brother-in-law, both of my brother-in-law actually had campers, and we were kind of in this place where, like, well, we want to go hang out with them because we like them, right? And we ended up doing that. And we had a good time. It was great. But after a while, like, if you don't book out your campsites, like, kind of in a you know, long period of time, you're not going to get very many campsites. So we were in this place where our camper was literally sitting at home. We were kind of stuck going, like, what are we going to do, right? So we decided to like, I was like thinking of selling it. So I was thinking of putting it on RVshare, or sorry, on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. And when I got in there to kind of see what they were going for, I saw a guy who was selling his unit. And then down below, there was a gal that left a comment and said, why don't you put your stuff on RVshare? Like, you know, my friend of mine needed like $30,000. And I was like, what? Got on RVshare that night. I put my profile on there, and literally it got booked out like for the rest of the season. We made about $12,000 that first year, and we posted like the end of January. And it just got me thinking, like, I'm an entrepreneur type mindset guy, right? I was like, if I could do this with one unit, imagine if I had 10. Right, or 20. And that's really what kind of sparked everything for us to kind of go out there and go, okay, can we actually scale this business and really do something big? And we decided to go out there and build this business. We have 13 units now. So so a lot of that's through co-assignments, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But anyway, let's get back to the website here, and you kind of want to tell your story a little bit. Here's a cool story that Outdoorsy did as Outdoorsy's Owner of the Week. So I got that link there. So if people want to know a little bit more about who we are, we go into some detail about who our family is, and, you know, why we do what we do and why it's important. And then so for our main units, which are ours that we own, and there's a couple of units, and I actually, truthfully, I just need to go back out there and do some more videos on some of our co-assignments. But we do it on our main units that we own, and we do a kind of a thorough walkthrough, or a quick walkthrough. You know, renters want to know, what does it look like, and people love videos. You know, as much as people like reading and taking a look at pictures, people really like videos. So we utilize our YouTube channel for people to go out there and take a look. So people to go out there and take a look at what's going on. So here's our units that we have listed, and they can rent each one of them. It takes them right to our link that checks availability, which is cool. The other thing is, I've got one of the units here that I feel like is a nicer, more upscale quality unit that I did a kind of a walkthrough on, and honestly, like I said, I just need to go through more. And then this here, you know, this really communicates to the customers about all the things that we provide, because those are a lot of questions that we get. We get a lot of customers that are asking, you know, what do you provide when they're getting ready to kind of head out to their campsite or their rental for the week? They're like, so what should we bring? Should we bring our pillows? Should we bring, you know, I'm just like, well, bring your favorite pillow if you want to, but here's what we provide. And they can watch this video and really kind of take a look and see what, you know, what we actually provide. And for us, what we really work on trying to provide is everything that you need in your stay, right? Anything that's going to make you feel comfortable. We've got pots, pans, pillows, you know, cookware, silverware, cleaning supplies, you know, brooms, and all that stuff. And we try to make sure that, you know, we're making it the most comfortable experience. And I guess, you know, just for renters, like, they don't need to go out there and buy a bunch of stuff and bring a bunch of stuff with them. They can just bring their clothes and their food and camp comfortably. So Cleanliness. Here's another thing that's important. You know, when it comes to cleanliness and cleaning our units, we put together, my wife did a wonderful job here putting a timeline together of just recording the whole front to back of what we do to clean our units and how we clean them. And it just, again, people are always wondering, especially with the, you know, the era that we're in right now. With the era that we're in right now, it's we got to make sure everything is clean, right? And then what are our customers saying about, you know, LR Valdez Rental? I did a short video for YouTube that just kind of walks through some of them, but I decided to kind of pick some of the coolest ones. We have some really great experiences with some of our customers, and they were able to write very kind and nice things about us. And I think it's important, you know, when people are going to your website and kind of taking a look at, you know, who we are, right, as renters, and how we care for people, and people just want to be felt like they're important, because truly they are, right? And then down here we've got some affiliate links, you know, so it's another opportunity for people to create some income through those Amazon and links like that. So let's see. Okay, so what I want to talk about next, so that's your website. So we went through Outdoorsy, RVshare, and our website. Now, for those, again, that are looking to kind of scale your business and get to a point where you're making some you know, pretty good income, if you have 5 units or more, it used to be 3. We kind of got grandfathered in when Wheelbase first came out, or when we were approached by Wheelbase. We had 3 units. They allowed us to get on the platform, which is awesome. We're able to make as much money as we can through that platform. There's no fees actually, and the insurance is increased just a little bit, but our renters don't seem to have a problem with that. So I'm going to walk you through. I can't walk through quite a bit of the details because there is sensitive information, but here's just the dashboard here, how you get started. Wheelbase is an incredible company, we feel. I've also heard that RVshare is going to be coming out with one here pretty soon. Kind of walk you through kind of our calendar. We've got all of our units. Here's some of so next year we've got some weekends or concert weekends that are already booked out here. And then as you go into like July, you know, they're already booked out. But I'll show you real quick how easy it is. You pick one of your vehicles, how easy it is to create a quote. You go to that vehicle, you click on it, you go to a new quote, you select the dates, we'll say 8th through the 12th of December. You click all your fees, your cleaning fees. If you want to do like a generator usage fee, here's a pet fee. Here's the gorge delivery fee. Your insurance is already built in. It's already there with the basic package. And then you just basically, you can create a new customer, or you can do a search, and I'll just go like John. Or there's a Christian right there. So let's create a quote real fast. And then there you go. You got the quote. It's got everything built in. It's got all this information here. Cleaning fees, generator fees, all that stuff. It's got all of this there, and all you need to do is just basically send this to your renter, and you're good to go. So it's kind of a cool little feature here. But Wheelbase, again, is just another one of those platforms that just allows the renters that actually have multiple units, 5 or more, to be able to have a place where people can go check your calendar. You can hook it up to your website, which we do. We've got it hooked up to our website. It links straight directly to it. It's also got a great mobile version, so you can actually, through your mobile phone, you can create a quote real fast. So quick story. Sorry, I got fumbled there with the story I started thinking about. So we had dropped off 2 of our units down there, and one of the guys had rented from a different guy, and on the way down the hill, he got a call saying, hey, something broke. I can't bring my unit. And he was just like, oh my gosh, I got my family with me in my car. We're literally like minutes away. Well, when we got there, he's like, hey, do you have an extra unit? And we ended up having an extra unit. I pulled out my phone. I put a quick quote together and was able to give it to him, and he submitted the payment. We got paid like literally the next day, and that's another actually cool point with Wheelbase and Outdoorsy is actually whatever percentage you have set, whether it's 25, 40, 50%, for a down payment, you get paid within the next 24 hours. RVshare is one that they keep any portion or the full amount that you're going to get paid until the actual event. So I like utilizing some of the Wheelbase and Outdoorsy to kind of get us through the off season, to make sure our bills are paid and certain things like that. But it's a cool feature. All right, so the next thing I want to get into is, how do we vet our renters? This was a great question. It was brought up to us on TikTok. One of the first things that we do is in all your settings, you can set your age groups that you want to rent to. For us, we keep it 25 and above. I want to say RVshare, maybe even Outdoorsy, they actually have it automatically set to 23 and above, but you can set it just a little bit higher, so the less kind of responsible people that actually come on and are looking to rent your units, it kind of weeds some of those out, right? Another way that we vet them is you can set your deposit amounts anywhere from $500, $750 to $1,000. Some people I've heard do $1,500. And what that does is that kind of sets those, if they can't afford to put a deposit down, then they really can't afford to really kind of take care of your unit. Yeah, there's some people that, we've had people that needed a rental that are in some dire straits. We've definitely worked with them. That's just kind of case by case. But when it comes to vetting someone and making sure you're renting to a responsible person, those are some of the things that you can do. Finding out initial questions, right? So on Messenger and some of these platforms, you can reach out to these people and you can say, and you can just ask them questions about, where you're going, what's your trip look like, stuff like that. And they'll either say, well, we're friends of 8, we're going to be going to this place, this venue, or this party, or festival, whatever that looks like. And then you can kind of start with some of the concerns you might have, start answering some questions to kind of clarify a little bit, right? And then you'll find, most of the people, they'll send like a paragraph of saying, hi, we're a family of 5, we've got 3 little kids, ages blah, blah, blah. We're going to this campsite. We've gone there every single year. We'd love if you delivered. Like, those are the good ones, right? You get all those details in there. And then what I do, and I think this is important, it's a really, I think it's key to locking people in, is I call them. So as soon as I get like these inquiries, and if I get anything that just looks a little fishy or funny, I'll reach out to them right away. And I'll get on the phone with them and ask them questions and just make them feel at ease, make them feel comfortable. A lot of times, when they're going to a concert or a venue, they have no idea what to expect there, right? So what I do is I tell them, hey, we've delivered there, 50, 60, 70 times last year. And here's what to expect. Here's what the drop-off date's going to look like. Here's what it's going to look like when we actually go and get it set up for you. We're going to drop a pin for you. We're going to do a FaceTime walkthrough, all these different types of things. And it makes it so easy. And it puts a lot of these guys' minds at ease, and they feel comfortable. And quite honestly, we've gotten a ton of return renters and referrals because of I feel like the phone calls and us walking them through. And I've even had comments of people say, well, I've reached out to somebody on Outdoorsy. Nobody's responded to me. Nobody, walks me through these questions like you do. And I'm not saying we're anything special. We just feel like it's important. I put myself in their shoes. And if I was going to be, spending $1,500, $2,000 on a rental for a week for my family, I want to know who I'm renting from. I want to know that everything's in it that says it's going to be in it. I want to know that the pictures line up to what we're actually going to be renting, right? All that stuff, and I think it's important. So that's how we vet some of the renters. If you guys have any suggestions or things that you guys have done, throw them in the comments. I would love to hear how you guys vet some of your renters. But I think a phone call can go a very long way. And then the other thing too is always reach out at least 1 to 2 weeks, right before their rental. It goes such a long way. You never know. Some of them might just want to cancel. They've got something going on, and if you got your cancellation settings set right, you'll still get paid for the rental, right? But reach out to them, make them feel comfortable, make them feel at ease, and then walk them through realistic expectations. You know what I mean? When I say that, a lot of times these guys have never RV'd before. They've never been in a camper. They've never done any of these things. And quite honestly, like, you want to make sure that they understand that there's going to be stinky things, right? That black tank sitting right under that RV, and it doesn't smell the same as your house. The AC unit, right? It's not the same as your house. You might have some rocking back and forth because your kids are moving in their beds. It's not the same as it's not on a foundation, right? So there's certain things that we walk people through just to make sure that they understand that, these are the realistic expectation when you're camping, right? All right. Let's move on to the next one here. Let's take a quick pause and see if there's any questions anybody might have in the comments. No, okay. So it doesn't look like it. So we'll continue to keep moving through this here. All right. So Number 5. So what kind of RV units do you get? So I just made a video on this. You guys can take a look at it here and go through it. So one of the things we talked about is bunkhouses. Bunkhouses are probably the best units that you can get for a first-time RV renter. So if you're looking to kind of invest into making a business, or even if you wanted to kind of have your own, bunkhouses are great. They can sleep anywhere from probably 6 to 8 people, upwards to 10, depending on the length and the size of your unit. But they're the best ones. And if you can get certain features like little space heaters that come with it, certain things like that really go a long way for renters. But check out that video. I've made that video. I'll have that kind of down in the description, the links and stuff like that. But that's one of the best bunkhouses by far. And our best renter is a 24 foot. So it doesn't need to necessarily be massive, but anywhere from 24 to 34, 35, 36 foot bunkhouses are the best renters. When it comes to dates, people have asked, do older ones rent? I've asked a fellow owner. He says older ones rent well also. But, I would just, from my experience, the newer ones really do well. What I mean by newer, probably like 2018 and above, right? Time commitments. What are some of the time commitments you need to look at when you're actually looking to start your RV rental business? Quite honestly, you're gonna have to sit down with your spouse. You're gonna have to really map this and navigate this out, right? You got to look at, okay, who's going to make the deliveries during the week? When do we need to fuel up? How often are we going to use our own rental, right? How far are we willing to deliver? Those types of things are super important when you're looking at starting your RV rental business. So what I would do is just make sure that you're kind of nailing down all of those details before you actually get started, because we kind of did let's buy the unit and then we'll start renting it out and figure out how to get there, right? Which there was a lot of growing pains with that, but we definitely learned a ton through that process. And quite honestly, it worked out. Going forward with our 10 plus units that we're going to have next year, our goal is to have 15 to 20 by springtime, maybe even 25 through consignments. We want to make sure we got all that stuff set in place, right? So that is super important. Time commitment, just figure that stuff out for yourself. As far as pricing, let's go back to take a look at some of these units that I have. This one here, it's a 34 foot, $199 a night. It's a Premier. It's a 2019, I believe. And but super nice, a lot of nice features. So if you look at the insides here, this kitchen, just a lot of nice features. It's got a flat screen TV. It's got smart TVs, leather. These are massage heated chairs. It's got a nice big refrigerator, some pantry space, certain things like that. If you look at this unit, it's just a really, really nice unit. So for us, we wanted to increase that nightly rental to match the quality of the unit, I guess. And then we'll go back and take a look real quick at another listing, which is an older listing. Let's see here if I can get there. Okay, so here, let's look at some of these other listings over here. Let's leave the page. Okay, so if you look at like some of our older units, let's see, we'll go to like this guy right here. This is a big unit. It's a bigger unit. It's a 35 foot. But in this, we got it for $169 a night. Yeah, it can sleep anywhere from 10. If you look at some of the pictures inside, it's got like the older kind of the rustic, southwestern look. But if you see here, it's got big bunks, a lot of room. People can sleep in it, but we also want to give value. And we've been able to rent this guy out quite a lot, this last season here, and then kind of moving forward in the next season. We've already got some bookings for it. But you want to price anywhere from, you want to kind of look in your area. So I would do a search, either RVshare or Outdoorsy, and kind of take a look and see what they're going for in these areas, right? And then price competitively, but don't be afraid to price just a little bit higher, whether it's $5 or $10, just a little bit higher. And then use some add-ons. Make sure that you guys are utilizing the add-ons. That's one thing. When we made that shift and change, gosh, we increased our profitability crazy, just because we did a lot of add-ons. We did a lot of things that we provided for people. So extra stuff, Jackery, chargers, you know, if they like things to get set up a certain, like just so many different things that we did to help our renters, for us to make money, but to also help our renters feel a little bit more comfortable, right? Dumping fee. Nobody likes to dump. Nobody knows where to dump. It costs about $100 to have somebody come out at some of these concerts sometimes. Well, we'll dump for them for $25, right? Those are just extra things that we were doing that we felt like we needed to charge for when we first started our RV rental business. So pricing, just be competitive. You know, I would take a look at other things that are out there. Delivery, when it comes to, yes, 90% of our rentals are delivery. Most of them are delivery. It's crazy. I've heard other people in other areas, they've got 1 or 2 units. Majority of them are they drop them off themselves, right? Or sorry, the renters will come up and pick them up themselves. So for us, it's not that case. We do allow it. I just had somebody pick up our motorhome yesterday. They're going to a WSU Cougar game, the Apple Cup for the weekend, and you know, they came and picked it up. It was kind of on the way, right? But for the majority during the camp season and during concert season, a lot of these guys are flying in from you know, the country, all over the place, and they want us to drop it off and get it set up for them. No problem. We do charge a fee for that, and we make sure that we're making just a little bit of money, and in some cases a decent amount of money, because we know a lot of times with that rental there's going to be a lot of extra things that we're going to have to do once we get it back, right? So that's why we charge delivery. And yes, we do deliver. Marketing our business, we did a great video. We felt like the video we did was just simple basic steps and things that we could do to market our RV rental business that were free. You know, nobody really needed to pay a lot of money. We decided to do a website. We probably didn't really need to in the beginning, but if we wanted to grow fast, I used the website, and then I also did some Google ads to push our website out there, so when people were searching that they would find us, and that helped. I really truly believe it helped us kind of catapult our business forward and get a lot of return renters that were coming back now this year, and through those renters, we're getting more and more referrals. So it's been a great investment, a huge return on our investment. So so yeah, marketing your business. There's things like, you guys can have these, like I think I've shown you this before, but you can do business cards that have QR codes that people can scan, and they can find your website. They can find your website, they can find your social media, they can do all the things, so they're always in the know of who and what you're doing. And I can't tell you how many times, I just got a message yesterday from posting a reel on Facebook from somebody saying, oh, I didn't realize you did this. Do you deliver over here? And yep, we happen to deliver in that area before. So, and we're looking at doing kind of a month-long rental or 5-month-long rental for her mom, you know. So you just never know. Always put your stuff out there, and then utilize all the free social media platforms. Like I said, another plug, check out Instagram, check out TikTok, check out our Facebook Shorts. You know, a lot of free resources out there so that you guys can get your name out there and really kind of just put it in people's faces, right? And when people see it, and people are always curious and asking questions. I can't tell you how many questions I get from TikTok, just people going, gosh, how do you do this? And what do you do? And how do we get started? And all this stuff. And it's very simple, right? And then, so the most important thing that I want to talk about here at the end is LLC. So if you're looking to really scale your business, one of the most important things is writing up a proper LLC. So I had a good friend of mine who's a CPA, and he said, hey, do you have an LLC? And I said, yeah, I filed with the Secretary of State. And he's like, no, you want to have something proper that's written up. And I think you can get some of this stuff online. There's some free stuff. I just wanted to have the peace of mind. I reached out to a business attorney that he actually referred me to. I reached out to her and I said, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. And with an LLC, the Limited Liability Corporation, she was able to write one up for me. It was fast and easy. I think that, and I bought another LLC, and there was something else I had her take a look at one of my rental agreements and my contracts that I actually put a video out, and there's a link here. But I was able to put that out, and she was able to do it all for like $1,300. And for me, that's peace of mind, just to have that done, so that, if there's ever any issues, we're not 100% liable. We're not going to lose everything if, God forbid, somebody takes one of our rigs and dies and tries to sue us for whatever reason. So for those that are looking, like I said, to build a big business, scale the business, my encouragement is to get a proper LLC drawn up. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick pause here and see if there's any questions anybody might have. No, looks like the picture's a little pixelated. Well, anyways, appreciate you guys watching. You know, feel free to ask questions, throw them in the comment section. Feel free to reach out if you liked everything you heard. Please just give this video a thumbs up. And then check out our other videos. There's tons of videos on marketing, tons of videos on what to do next, on how-tos and certain tips like that. So appreciate you guys watching. Happy camping.